Investigative journalist and expert in left-wing activism. Good to see you again, Matthew. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Now, firstly, what does this mean in terms of the broader scope of the impeachment proceedings? Of course, President Trump has already been impeached. Does this new scope of evidence mean anything moving forward?
I think it puts more puts more meat on the bones of the accusations against President Trump, but I still don't think the accusations, the underlying accusations against him, have any merit, but it at least helps to paint a picture of what actually happened around the time of the telephone call.
Does it also not directly link to a quid pro quo that he's been charged or alleged to have done?
I think that what we have to take into account is that the concept of quid pro quo is something that applies in like criminal law and domestic law regarding bribery and corruption and stuff like that. It doesn't really apply to presidential conduct of international affairs. Presidents can ask, and I'm not saying Trump engaged in a quid pro quo, but even if he did, it doesn't mean that it's illegal or that it rises to the level of impeachment. What we have here, as I understand it, is someone discovered that someone in Trump's office put a hold on aid to Ukraine after the phone call. But there's still no evidence that the Ukrainian authorities knew that a hold was being put on this aid, that it was being dangled in front of them, carrot and stick style, or as some kind of an incentive for them to do what President Trump wanted them to do. So I think it helps to show what happened, but I don't think it makes Trump. I don't think it makes Trump any guiltier than he was of things before.
But it's
I don't
very
think he's
difficult
done
to
anything
argue
wrong.
that, given the fact that the phone call between Trump and Zelensky and that aid was being withheld. It's very difficult to argue that this aid was being held directly after that phone conversation, that's not a quid pro quo, or that it wasn't illegal.
Well, for it to be a quid pro quo, that means something for something else, okay? This for that. That you have to have let the other person know that you were withholding something or that you were offering something. And in this case, that wasn't done. They never even knew. President Zelensky said he wasn't even aware of it. He didn't think anything improper happened on the phone call, and he wasn't aware of anything happening after that.
He also doesn't want to damage his relationship with the United States of America as well.
I can only tell you what he said on the record. You can question his motives all you want.
So, in terms of the witnesses in the Senate, it's alleged that Michael Duffy, who wrote this very email following the phone conversation between Trump and Zelensky, could potentially be one of the witnesses. Why are the Republicans starting to now consider bringing witnesses to the Senate?
Well, I think they had been initially considering bringing a whole panoply of witnesses, but then in the last few days, this idea grabbed hold that they shouldn't even have a proper consideration of the evidence, that they should just have a cursory trial. Like maybe they open it up a little bit and then someone makes a motion to dismiss the articles of impeachment and then it's over and then they vote to dismiss, which you could do. It's like a directed verdict or a motion for summary judgment in a civil or a criminal trial. But I think that they want to know what actually happened, and they think it's necessary in order to clear the president's name to bring out some witnesses. So I've never thought that it would be a bad idea for them to call witnesses. In fact, they should use the witness process, in order to expose what it is that President Trump was really trying to investigate, which is the ongoing conspiracy to undermine the results of the 26 election. And that has been underway. President Obama got it started with his spying on the Trump campaign, as we knew at the time, but now that we have, much stronger proof that he actually did. So, President Trump ultimately is going to be cleared by this. And you can, people can hate Trump all they want, but what he did, it wasn't a crime, and it doesn't rise to the level of impeachment. But I guess we're going to be hearing about it for some time to come, because the Democrats in the House of Representatives haven't even submitted the articles of impeachment to the Senate. So,
but it seems like it's working, because it looks like that Republicans are looking at witnesses.
Well,
so
yeah, maybe that was the idea, was to strong arm them into agreeing to some of the House's terms. But I think they probably would have done that anyway.
A fair trial.
Because they had to accept certain House managers to guide the impeachment process, to be prosecutors on the floor of the Senate, and that's how these things work. So they probably would have, done that anyway. But if that was her gamble, if that was what she was trying to do, then I guess Speaker Pelosi has won a round. But she's going to lose in the end. But okay, she got this round.
Thanks very much for that, Matthew. Appreciate your time. Matthew Vadum there for us.